Hello everyone. So it's starting the stream up a little early, and today we're going to play with something a little different than we've been playing with for a while. I was streaming this a little bit last night. I've been playing with it more, so I want to play around with the idea of making a sorry, not that one it is. I'm like 800 miles away. I want to play with the idea of making an escape room type game. So I started playing around with that on Monday, and I streamed a bit of it yesterday. So I've made a lock and a lockbox, and well, the lockbox has an animation on it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Stuff's got to all rearranged on me somehow. There. Okay. So it has meter want to open this animation. Okay. Lockbox play. So it has an animation to open up, and then this guy here, it can't get to it right now, but it has a thing, so if you click on these it rotates around and you can keep track of their values and stuff. So right now I'm working on getting so made it so we can move around, move the camera, and it works with both the once it connects the gamepad, so using the gamepad here, and then it also works with the mouse, and so we can move around and look, and then if we hit B on the controller escape, we get a cursor, and then we can move the cursor around instead of looking. And if we click this, it opens up a zoom mode. So this is where we're going to put the zoom. And right now I'm hijacking the mouse, so sometimes when I use the mouse it gets jittery, so I want to fix that and probably separate them out. It's pretty smooth when I'm using the controller because it's not fighting against the real mouse, but when I try to use the mouse you can see how it kind of jitters because it's fighting against the real mouse inputs a bit because they're not perfectly in sync. So I'm going to want to clean that up, but for now I'm not going to worry about that. I want to get the zoomed in version here, so when this is open it'll be like a close-up view of the of whatever the zoomable object is. So I have a tag on here, zoom target, so that's the thing it's going to zoom up on. So, and I just added that camera and got that wired up, so let's go ahead, just change the background for a second, and solid color. Click on that. Alright, that is a terrible color. Alright, let's go with a kind of deeper green, maybe like that for now. And we'll probably put some background or something on there later. Actually, let's go with a blue. That looks too much like a green screen to me. Maybe because I have a giant one sitting behind me. Blue, blue, blue. That's a little purple. Blue, blue. A little more blue. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay. So got, let's get writer open. Scripts input. Nope, not that one. That one. Sorry, something popped up on Twitter. They killed off Mr. Peanut? I am confused. Interesting. Okay. So, we got... Alright, don't want that guy. Okay. So here's where we... When we do the click, we set our zoom target and we put on the zoom camera. So now I want to... Let's see. Move... Let's try, maybe if we put it on this guy's position and then subtract forward. I don't know what that'll do. Let's see what that does. Oh, and zoom camera dot transform. Does it still? Yeah, look at zoom target. Transform, maybe. Yeah. So, what I'm trying to do is basically position the zoom camera on the zoom target thing, and then essentially move it backwards, like from whatever direction the zoom target's facing, move it backwards from there and then look at it. So hopefully then we're looking at the front of the box instead of just some random position on the box. So let's see if that worked. Okay, that actually worked. We're just too far back. 0.2 maybe. Yeah. But yeah, one thing I have to fix too, a newly introduced bug, is I have to click my control twice to get it to unlock. Okay, so that's too close. Something happened. Oh, thank you, Chrome Magnus. So let's see here. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's back it up a little more. And probably what we're going to end up having to do at some point, once we have a few different zoom targets we can compare against, is it'll probably have to be either some like percentage of the zoom target itself, because like, you know, if we have like a really, really big thing versus a really tiny thing, they'll need different distances. So we might use some percentage of the target size, or we might just give them a value and we read that value out and use that. But it looks like it's actually working there, which is cool. Okay, so that bit works. Let's zoom in a little bit more and then we'll just call that good for now. One annoying thing is, since I take over the mouse to control the stuff, getting the mouse back to the editor sometimes takes a couple tries. Alright, let's see here. So, clicky click. Okay. Okay. So we'll call that good for now. Actually, maybe no, actually, did I go the wrong way? Because I want it closer. It's a smaller number. Alright, so yeah, 0.4 is too close. Let go. There we go. 0.45 maybe. Okay, clicky clicky. Alright, that's good enough for now. Alright, so now what I want to be able to do is, once I'm zoomed in here, I want to be able to then click the things like the doodads here, the discs, that's the word I'm looking for. And I also want to make it so we can rotate within this little window, so we can look at all different sides of our object. Because, like, you know, if you've ever played a game like this, like you know, Resident Evil or something like that, you can usually rotate it around, so like you may discover there's something written on the bottom or something. So we want kind of that control. So let's go. And we'll do zoom in and zoom out too. So let's go first. I don't have a control wired up for zoom in, so let's wire one up for that. So I'm using the new input actions. It's still like a preview right now, but it seems to work okay. It's a little more, not a little, it's a lot more robust than the default input manager that Unity's had forever. So it's pretty cool because you can wire together any number of different things into one action instead of having to have a whole bunch of actions, which is nice. Okay. So, let's call this zoom, and then I'm going to add a binding, or actually, I guess zoom will do a value, and we'll do a what do I want? Analog. It's just one dimension. It's between 0 and I guess a double. I'm assuming a double means a double data type, which is actually a little weird. That's a double and not a float, since they use float everywhere else. Interesting. Okay, and then let's see here. So okay, maybe that won't work because those are the only two things there. And that's not what I want. Okay, let's try. Let's do any real quick for a second. Any, and then change this to mouse and scroll Y, I guess. Okay, and I'm curious what value that's going to give me. Maybe it's analog value? Okay, we'll see what it does. And then we'll add another binding. Or actually, I want to do move that one. I want to do a 1D axis composite. And then I can do, and we'll call this triggers. So we'll use, for zoom in, zoom out on the controller, we'll use the left trigger and the right trigger. So, gamepad, left shoulder, I guess. That'll be negative. And then gamepad right shoulder for positive. I might hit this listen button and see what it does. Oh, that's nifty. Okay. So now we have our zoom thing there. So now we'll go. So you use this guy a little different than you do the regular inputs. The regular inputs you just like call get and stuff. This one you actually have to hook into an event listener. And well, there's 3 callbacks: started, performed, and canceled. So if you want like a button press, you would use like started. And then if you want a like continuous value, you can use performed. So we're going to use performed for this one. And you use canceled for stopping either of them. So let's do private float zoom input. And then, so when it's performed, we'll do zoom input equals ctx dot read value. I'm going to try float. I don't know if that's going to work or blow up because I'm still not sure exactly what the scroll wheel is going to produce. again, and it should be 0. Okay. And just real quick, I'm just gonna chuck a debug down here for zoom input because I want to see what it's giving me, and if it's even gonna not completely blow up on me. So, scroll wheel. Let me go. There we go. And oh, hang on. I have another debug that's in the way. Alright, so scroll wheel. Alright, so it's basically going between 120 and negative 120, but it does seem to be working, so that's mouse wheel. And then triggers, I would expect to be between 0 and 1. I'm not actually seeing anything for my triggers though. Oh, wait. Oh, I did the shoulder buttons, not the triggers themselves. Let's swap that out real quick. Not the shoulder. Gamepad. There we go. Trigger. But I want left trigger. And right trigger. There it is. Okay. Let's try that now. Alright, there we go. And you can see I didn't click over to console, but if you look in the very bottom left of Unity, we can see it flipping back and forth. Okay, so what we'll do for now, at least, it's the same thing I did with the mouse move, and it works kind of questionably, but it's good enough for now. Is I'm going to add a processor, and I'm going to scale. Or not scale, sorry. I'm going to normalize. And basically what this will do is, or should, basically give us a -1 and 1 for the mouse wheel, same as, which is the same we get for the controller. Okay, it's not super consistent. I see it pop up every so often, but although that might be just because yeah. Alright, let's see what happens when I unlock my mouse. Okay, so it is consistent. I unlocked my mouse so I could do that thing where you just flick it and it scrolls forever. Knock back. Okay, cool. So I think we're good there. Alright, so now that they're both coming in the same, they're either -1 or 1. Actually, let me double check the direction. So I want this way to be 1, good, and that way, perfect. Okay. And let me go. Alright. So now I'll add a zoom speed. And right now I'm just making these private constants, but eventually these would be like configurable by the user so they can configure sensitivity, but until I build that UI, they're just going to be const. Okay. So now, alright, so we click over here, we have that, and then we want, so while this is open, we would change the zoom. Well, we wouldn't actually change the zoom, we would just move the camera forward. And one thing we'll have to figure out how to do is how to move it forward, but not like into the object. So one thing at a time though. Alright. Handle camera. Handle interact. Okay, so I don't want to actually put it in here. That's handling interact. Let's make a new one. Handle zoom. I like to keep my functions in the same order that I'm using them. Just like that. Handle zoom. Okay. And then if zoom target is null, then we're just going to return because that means we're not looking at the zoom. So otherwise, we're going to do zoom camera dot transform dot position plus equals zoom camera dot transform dot forward times time dot delta time times zoom speed times zoom input. And it's telling me they're inefficient, so let it reorder for me. And I guess that works. Okay. And we'll plug that into its own variable, and it gives them terrible names. So, okay. So let's see what that does. Hopefully that should move it forward if I'm going forward and backwards if I'm going backwards. All right. I think it did it. Okay. Yeah. So it's just doing it way too much in one step. We're like in one tick I've flown through cleaned through the box already. So let's go ahead and and actually, sorry, real quick, I'm gonna disable this. This is supposed to clamp it and keep it in the game. And I may turn that back on later once I fix the rest of the mouse jittery stuff. But for now, I think it'll be easier if I just keep it off, because then I can move like that. Okay. Okay. So let's turn way down the zoom speed. Oh. So other reason my mouse was feeling sluggish. My DPI was lower on my mouse. I have one of those mice that have buttons, so you can change the DPI with buttons on there. It's what is it? It's a G903 Logitech one. Pretty nice. It's one of the few mice out there. I'm a lefty, so most gaming mice are right-handed. This one's at least it has 2 extra buttons on either side. It has 2 buttons on either side, and they're actually configurable. You can pop them on and off. So you could have it left-handed, right-handed, or I have them on both sides, so I can have 4 buttons. But yeah, it's pretty handy. I also have a it's a Razer Naga, the one with the like 10 buttons on the side. That's like the only 10-button mouse that is left-handed. But I don't use those 10 buttons very often, so I got this guy for more general purpose stuff. Okay. We're turning down the zoom speed. Let's try 20 maybe. Probably even lower than that, really. Alright, so clicky click, zoom, that's still a bit, like a lot too much. Alright. And you know what? The more I think about it, the more that I think we're going to have to... Because like I'm thinking, like we have this small box and you want like a certain zoom speed for it, and then like if you were like investigating like a big statue that was like 4 times the size of you, you'd want all different values. And we could try to calculate those values, but if we tried to calculate those values, no, we lose a little bit of the finesse. So why don't we go ahead and let's make a new class called call it zoomable. There, goodbye, back. Implement on the behavior or extend or whatever it is. Okay. Alright, zoomable. What do you mean that's not a word? Shut up. Okay. So why don't we give it a so let's do a value for how far back it starts. So let's call that'll be a float, and we'll call it initial distance. And we'll default it to 1.0. And then let's add a zoom speed. And we'll do that as maybe 10.0. Or I think that's probably, we'll do 5.0 as a default. Yeah, okay. And then actually I want to also change to this guy while I'm thinking about it. So I had gone with tagging, so I made a function to get it, the tag parent. But if we're going to use a whatever we call it, a component to handle that, we might as well grab the component right away. That way we can access that stuff. And then we don't have to worry about the tag. So I'm gonna go ahead and untag this and also go delete the tag. And then I'm gonna add a zoomable component. And then, alright, so we'll see what those do. And then we can get rid of this zoom speed because we're going to read it off the zoom target instead. So zoom target dot zoom speed. And then we're also going to go to where we first looked at our camera right here. And we're going to do object to transform. Okay, and then we're going to do this by zoom target dot aim object. Or sorry, just zoom target dot initial distance. And go ahead and do that. And I hate how it does that. That's just so terrible. I would totally fail that if I saw it in code review from one of my devs. And actually, we don't even need the game object, we need the transform. So I might as well grab the transform here because that's what we use twice. Okay. Let's just bump it up here. Okay. So now oops, something's blown up on us. Object reference not set. This guy handles zoom. Oh. I need to default this guy to true. I really want a restart button here. Okay. Click. Click. Didn't do anything. Broken apparently. Console. Alright. I broke something. In this little bit, what did I break? Oh, I can actually do zoom target transform. Zoom target transform. Oh wait, hang on. No, that should be right. And even this didn't open up, so the camera. Thank you, Dominic. Hopefully I didn't push it too bad. So why didn't our camera pop up? That's a little weird. So let's give it one more try. Click, 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 click. Yeah. All right. So let's make sure that we're still clicking on it first of all. Oh no, that's what it is. Get component or in parents. That's what we're missing. Get does parent go through all of them? I don't remember. Let's see. Yeah. Well, oh, come on. Stop being difficult. There we go. Returns the component of type in the game object or any of its parents. Okay, good. That is the one we want. Because when we're clicking, what we end up clicking is like the box itself, but the zoomable is actually on the parent because we're clicking basically like this guy or this guy because they're the ones that have our box colliders on them. But we want this guy's zoomable object, so we have to do the parent one. So that's why our clicking stopped. So let's give this a try again. Alright, so it opened up and yeah, that's a much better zoom. So we'll need to figure out how to stop that. So basically like we would want that to be as close as possible. And then something is up with our camera because it's like taking up too much space now. So let's flip this guy back on real quick. Oh, I see. Apparently you can zoom in on the editor itself. That's why that was getting clipped weird. Okay. Turn that guy back off. On. Control, click. Alright, there we go. And so now we can zoom around. Okay. Cool. So we need to make it not do that. But first let's make it so we can rotate in this space around the box and that thing. Alright. I think maybe we're gonna fix the mouse first though because it's kind of driving me crazy. Yeah. See how it's kind of jittery? It doesn't do that on gamepad because gamepad's not actually moving the mouse first, so it's just calculating the position and then moving the mouse once. When I'm using the actual mouse, it jitters because I'm moving the mouse and then I'm moving the mouse back, and so it's kind of fighting with itself. So what we're gonna have to do is because see, and I'd done it that way because I was hoping to have just one look thing here and then have the mouse or the gamepad and have them both normalized. So we might. So one way we could do this is if we denormalize this, then the mouse would be just kind of whatever value. And we can be like, well, if the number is greater than 1, it has to be the mouse, so we'll multiply the mouse, or we won't multiply it, so we'll only multiply the gamepad. Only downside to that is if you do move your mouse really tiny and you do generate a legit mouse move that's less than 1, you're gonna jump unexpectedly. But 1 is such a teensy tiny little baby move with a mouse that I don't think that's going to be a huge concern, so let's go with that for now. And if it turns out that doesn't work, we'll try something else later. So I denormalized it, so now here, so these two are the ones that are giving me actually wait, yeah, these are them. Well, actually, we have two. We have this one, which handles the moving, and then we also have this one, which handles looking. So, we have to do both of those. So, so basically, we only want to multiply this if by these values if they're greater than 1. So let's do greater than, well, we have to do math.absolute because either -1 or +1. So if the absolute value is greater than 1, we're just going to use that value. Otherwise, we're going to do that times cursor speed. And then basically ditto for this guy. Math.absolute. And actually we need to do mathf. Okay, greater than 1. Input y or look input dot y times cursor speed, and actually looking at that, what we can really do, we can simplify that teensy bit to be like this instead. That way we don't repeat quite so much. So basically, if it's greater than 1, we're going to multiply it by 1, so we're not going to change it essentially. And then otherwise, we're going to multiply it by cursor speed. Okay, and then we won't multiply by cursor speed over here. And I think for the mouse move, we actually shouldn't multiply by time delta either, because the value it's giving us should have been the amount the mouse moved in that last tick. So we'll multiply time delta over here. Okay, so it's really just that, and then it's got long, so I'm going to break it into 2 lines for readability's sake. Okay. Alrighty, and then we need, alright, so let's go ahead and we'll check that out. So the look is probably going to be, actually, that's not bad, even without changing anything. Huh, curious. Okay, the cursor, whoa. Oh, I forgot to re-multiply our y by negative, because we have to basically invert it to get it to work right. Because the 0 and y is upside down. Okay. And still a little bit jittery. Let's see. On gamepad it's smooth, but yeah, here it's still jittery. So I wonder if maybe we also we'll go here. So this is where we're actually, so this is us like tracking the position of the cursor, and then this is us actually forcing it. So maybe we won't force it if our look inputs are greater than 1. Okay. So both of those need to be less than. Because if either of these were greater than, then that would mean we're using a mouse, because you can't possibly have above 1 on a gamepad. Okay. Okay, let's see what that does. So now really it should, am I turning sideways again? Sorry. Kind of. Oh yeah, I still haven't, I have to clamp us to the floor. Right now you can actually still fly. Whee! Go outside the room. Don't want that in the real game. But anyways, okay. So yeah, so now well, I think it almost working. Oh, so now the problem is if I stop moving, then we'll have 0, 0. And really the other problem is our mouse is getting off position from our cursor. So actually, hang on a sec. Can we get the position from this guy? We can actually. So why don't we do this instead? If look input.x is greater than 1 or look input.y is greater than 1, we're just going to set the cursor position equal to the current mouse's position. And don't actually know what a vector2 control is. Can I just turn that into a regular vector? Maybe read value up there. Okay. Else, then we're going to do this stuff, and we can get rid of that math.absolute stuff. And we'll do this stuff without that, because we already know we're game cursing. And then that actually will probably still come into play for both of them. So get rid of that and go back to what we had before. I think I'm still going to leave them on separate lines. I'll just do negative. Just put the negative over here. Oops. Negative. There we go. Okay. So now let's see what that does. Okay, let's look. Alright, so this is moving it around. Ah. Once I hit a certain point, it like flies away. Oh, it's once I get out of the window, because I was trying to keep it from controlling. I don't think I need that anymore. And we also want to only do this if x greater than 0 or input dot y is greater than 0. Because if I stop moving, then it's going to do this logic again, even if we're not actually putting in any controls. So I want it to not do anything on 0. Okay, so let's hit control. Alright. Still really shaky. Alright. So let's go ahead, debug.log mouse, debug.log gamepad. I want to see, I suspect we're probably getting at the gamepad more often than we think, which is not precisely what we want. Alright, mouse, oh yeah. Of course it's not scrolling. Alright, mouse. Yeah, see we got managed to take gamepad there for a second and that seems to be what's causing the jitter. But even if we did hit that every so often, we shouldn't really have jitter if our cursor position and this mouse thing is actually producing the same values. So I wonder if maybe they're not producing the same values. So let's see. Yeah, so they're a little off from one another. Oh, actually, that's curious. So if yeah, that's really curious. Because if I move my mouse and I updated my mouse, I should also have updated the cursor position. But there I'm not actually getting, I wasn't triggering any of these guys. So let's output this guy as well. One sec, sorry. Just want to check something. Okay, cool. Okay. Where are we? Here. Okay, so let's get this kind of tracking down. Okay. Alright. Okay, so the mouse values are actually smaller than I thought they were. And yeah, we do. Wait. Do I have or? Yeah, I have ors. Or. Yeah, I wonder. I was curious that the two don't stay in sync. Although, it does dawn on me, so when I enable it, I set cursor position to this thing. I should probably warp my mouse at this point as well, so they start off from the same point, because it might be a case of the two aren't starting in sync, so they can't get in sync. Although, even then, one mouse tick should put them back together, so it's a little weird. You know what? I just realized. Well, yeah, so it's still weird because even if we were off sync for a second, we should trigger derp. So I wasn't checking for positive and negative. I was just checking for positive. So if I was moving backwards, they wouldn't be in sync. So we need math.absolute for both of these. That's why we were sometimes not hitting either of these possibilities. And okay. Alright, let's see what that does. Okay. So there we go. Now I can move the mouse and it doesn't feel like it's fighting me. Yay! Cool. Alright. Alright, awesome. Oh, and actually we should make it so you can right click to get out of these two. That would be handy. Or right click to escape that. Let's add that real quick. For this guy. Let's add one more binding. Add binding. Mouse right button. There we go. Okay. So now you can look around, right click, click, right click, right click, move, right click, click, zoom. Okay, nice. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead. That's much better. Now we basically have to go implement, well, actually, so curiously for look didn't seem to have that issue. And actually, now that I think about it, the reason for that is I didn't have a second variable I was tracking at all. It was just doing the mouse move. So I think look is actually okay. Yeah, look seems smooth whether I do it there or here. It's slower here because I'm no longer normalizing it, but it is still working. I think this is okay. This feels pretty decent. Yeah, let's just keep that for now. Okay, cool. So now let's go here. So now I want to add, so when we have this guy open, if we, what are we going to do? If we left click and drag maybe, or we use, let's see, we have to think about this. So the right stick right now, it controls that. So yeah, so let's do either left click and drag, or so see right now I'm moving around in the background. So we'll make it so if this guy's open, left stick will do the rotating. Well, no, yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Left click left will rotate, the right will move, and then you still click with this, with A. And then for the mouse version, we'll do, if you're holding left click down and moving the mouse, it'll do the rotate in this state. And then Right click will take you out still. Okay, let's do that for now. And we can always change it up. Okay. Okay, so... Alright. So let's go... So we'll have to do... For the interact input... Where is that? Oh, there it is. We'll need to do... So basically, interact input, I start and then I cancel it manually for how we normally do it, because I only want to... For the normal interact, I only want to handle it once. But for the dragging one, I'll want to know when it's let go. So we'll come down here and we'll do this. So when it's cancelled, that. There. When it's cancelled, we'll set it to false, and then we'll do something expensive in there. Debug. Excuse me. We'll do handle. So we'll do handle. Rotate. And if zoom target is null, we're going to return because we won't do anything if we don't have that. And similarly, I want to go and interact. I want to do not zoom target is null, because if it isn't null, that means we're already zoomed in, so this shouldn't do its logic to get a zoom target. Okay, so here we'll do the rotate. So we'll do, alright, so the left stick gives us, oh, let's go to camera move, and we'll do if zoom target is null. I think I may just have done all those backwards. I did that one, and then if not, oh no, no, I did it right the first time. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here we're going to let's see if we'll do the gamepad one first. So the left stick, and the left stick's axis is basically ending up on move input, and also this means you'll be able to control it with the WASD or the arrow keys. You'll be able to rotate around too. So we'll do if look input.x. We have to do math.x. It's not a no, okay. Seeing if there's a property on that value that lets us check it quicker than this, or prettier than this, but not really. Greater than 0, or mathf.absolute input.y is greater than 0. So if we're doing a look input, then we're going to rotate the zoom camera. So let's get the camera transform off of there, because we're going to need that several times. Alright, so we're going to... Oh, there is rotate around still. Obsolete. Oh, okay. I see. I'd seen that the one was obsolete, and I was worried the whole function was obsolete, but it looks like they only made the one obsolete. Okay. So let's go double check what the values are for that. Unity rotate around. Okay. So target. Okay, yeah. So target, and then basically the direction, and then the amount. Okay. So target is zoom target dot transform. Do I need that position? And then our axis will be, so let's do the X one first. So look input X would make us go left and right. So that would be along the Y axis of that would be about the Y axis of the thing. So that would be up. And we'll multiply, and then we'll do here, we'll do look input dot X times time dot delta time times, and we'll we'll add another one, rotate speed, and we'll see what that does. Okay, so let's go see if that works on the one axis first. Okay, so click. Alright, why aren't we zooming in anymore? I broke everything. Probably this guy. Alright, so if... Oh, I see. This one was backwards, because most of them I've been doing just breakout, but this one actually, it doesn't do that unless, so that one was backwards. Okay. Restart. Alright, click. Okay, so gamepad, left controller. Not really doing all of that. Alright, so let's first make sure it's actually getting into here. Kingdom for a restart button. I hate having to click two buttons for that. Oh, it is actually rotating. It's just rotating really slowly. I don't think it was rotating earlier though. Oh wait, no, that's looking. Oh, I'm using look, which is not the one I meant to use. Yeah, because that would be annoying to be able to click on it. I want to use move input instead. Move input, move input, move input. Okay. Okay, so click, rotate. Alright. We are moving. We are just moving painfully slow. As you can see, I can't even hardly tell it's moving over here, but I can see it moving over here where we're really zoomed in. So let's crank that number up. Let's try 50. We'll see if that's too crazy. Okay, that's actually pretty decent speed right there. And then on the gamepad, yeah, I like that. So now we can rotate and we can fly right through it. We gotta clamp that down. Alright, but we can, yeah, there we go, cool. And then, okay, so let's go get the other axis, which is pretty much the same, except gonna go, so this one's going to be up and down. So we're going to do it about the about the y-axis of or above the x-axis, I guess. So, right. And this should be y. And that's not all the changes. I'm going to ignore that for a second. It's just telling me I'm using it twice and I should stick it in a variable, which is true, but make sure it works first. Okay, so up. Alright, and now, yeah. So the one thing I was concerned about is, well, I guess it doesn't honestly hurt to be able to turn it upside down. It's a little weird, but actually that's what we need to do. We need to use the world coordinates for it, because right now we're using the local coordinates of it. And so like right now I'm holding left, but it looks like I'm going up, which is a little awkward. And then like this, because we're sideways, I'm holding up and we're going around. So we actually need to convert this to world coordinates, which, what is, well, actually we need this guy to world coordinates. So, so let's try this first, maybe. Dot 4 dot up. And zoom target dot transform dot right. Or no, yeah, maybe. That might actually still be about its own axis, though. Let's see, so that, and then, yeah, it's still about its own axis. Let's see, unity, rotate around world axis. Rotates the object in place of its own, rotates around an arbitrary point in space you specify, like the world origin. But I don't want it around the world origin. What I want is to, I want it still around its position, but I want up to refer to it, to the up according to the screen rather than up according to the rotation of the object. So that's not quite what we want. See, rotate around direction based on screen. Let's try this one maybe. So what did they do with the assembly points left or right relative to the camera depending on player input? This transform right. Who's transform right? Is that, I guess that's their characters transform right? Let's try this one. Although that would be this guy. Camera, or zoom camera. transform dot, maybe. Camera transform right. Let's see what that does. Okay, so holding up, that bit still works right. Go back down. Alright, that bit. Oh, actually, that's backwards from what I want. Well, maybe not actually. Because if I hold left, I'm rotating the box left. It dawned on me I'm gonna have to actually like clone this guy and then rotate around a cloned version somewhere off, because I don't actually want the whole room. Because like if this wasn't floating midair and it was like sitting on a table and I like did this, I would be looking through the table. But alright, so now let's get it sideways. Okay, so now hold right. There we go. So now it's rotating right based on my orientation, which I think feels a little more natural than trying to fight it, or trying to do it based on the players. Yeah, cool. I need to change my shader. It creates this white outline, this white line there. I need to fix that. Oh well, lots of stuff to fix. We're just barely begun. Alright, let's try... Let's actually do the cloning bit first that I was just talking about. So, what we're going to do... let's see, Unity clone game object. Instantiate. Clone the object as a copy. Alright, let's try that. So we will do so down here or somewhere. Where are we? Right here. So this is where we set it. So I'm going to that function. Oh, I have a component. I need the game object. There we go. But it still doesn't have. What? Alright, hang on. Let's go check out the instantiate function. Alright. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Object dot, there's our glitch. We got, it's using the system object by default. We need that Unity object instead. Instantiate. It's still not happy with me. What's wrong? There we go. Alright. Wait, what? Cannot convert source type blah 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 to type zoomable. Clone the original returns the clone. Okay, so we'll have to do get component zoomable. So we can actually, let's do this first. Alright, clone equals that. And then we have to get the zoomable the zoomable off the clone. But then we also need to position the clone out in the middle of nowhere, basically, or at least outside of our room. And what we really should do, probably, and let's go do that now, is actually just create another room, which, so, and I guess I've not shown it this stream yet, but my room is literally, I just took a bunch of cubes, stretched them out, and made a room. So for now, I'm going to copy the room. Actually, do I want to do that, or do I want to do a skybox? I might want to do a skybox, because I don't really want, like, edges or shapes or anything. I just want it, you know, in what looks like a blank space, really. Let's see. Does Unity have a quick and easy way to... yeah, that's not really... Wait, the draw is behind all... Yeah, I want... How do I do maybe... side room, don't show corners. Yeah, we'll worry about that later. Probably I'll just have to tweak a shader to get it to make it look like one continuous thing, because that's what the skybox is too. Okay, so for now though, I have a zoom room, which is going to be our room that we're going to put that in. So I'm gonna move it. Yeah, do a move tool. Oh, that's weird. Why is our origin way up there? Is there something else in the room? Weird. Actually, that's really weird, actually. Huh. Yeah, weird. I don't know why our thing's up there. Anyway, so we'll move our zoom room here. And then let's go ahead, we'll just, so we can make sure we got into our zoom room successfully, we'll, where'd it go? Oh, yeah, Teros. There we go. I'm just going to create a new material real quick and just make like some solid color material. Rename zoom room material. And we'll just do some kind of bluish, probably. Maybe like that. And we'll do yeah, guess that's fine. Don't know if I do. Oh wait, skybox shader, cube map. Excited. Skybox cube map. No. Alright, we'll go with standard for now. Just looking for a way to like turn off shadows or something, because that would basically go. Oh, there. That might be it. And then I'm just going to chuck that onto each one of these guys. Cube, I think I missed that one. Cube, 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 cube. Okay. And let's fly into that room. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's quite doing what I wanted. Yep. But that's okay. We'll tweak it later. I do want to add a light in here though. Light. Let's do a point light for now. Drag it into the room. And and no shadows. And make it bigger. More intense. Ah, jeez. That's a nuclear explosion. Indirect multiplier, no. No shadows. Yeah. Not sure how to make it disappear. Oh well. Anyways. Good enough for now. So now we have our zoom room. So I'm gonna go update this guy to give me a variable to attach to the zoom room. And then I'm going to attach the zoom room onto the input manager, so I have a reference to it. Then we're going to, oh, and I just realized one, well, Wherever we set zoom target to null, we have to destroy this object we're making. Right there. Oh, game object, destroy. Is it not destroy? It's not destroy. Is it object to destroy? There we go. Destroy that, and we'll set that to null. Okay, and we don't have to have that there. Okay. Don't have to have that there. Alright, so we clone the game object, then we're going to chuck this into the middle of the game room. So we'll do, and actually this is where this thing being off is actually problematic. Why are you all the way up there? That's weird. So actually, I guess what we can do is move these guys up. Yeah. I must have dragged these guys without dragging the zoom room, and that might be why it's so far off. So I was trying to get it so that the center of this room is that center, and that's still pretty off. That way I can just be like, hey, put it at the zoom room's position, and it'll be in the middle of the zoom room. Alright, that's pretty close for now. Then I'll just drag this guy back down. Okay. Actually, sorry. Let's do this instead. If I do... no, I don't know what that is. No. Yeah. Game object, create empty. I'll create a fresh game object. And then if I just take all these guys and drop it in, it might be a little more centered. Nope, that's worse. Never mind. Yeah, I didn't build my game room centered around anything. I'll take it later. But anyways, that should be good enough for now. So now we'll just do clone.position equals zoom room dot position, or dot transform dot position. Transform dot position. Okay. And then the rest of this should be fine because our zoom camera will chase that clone now. So let's see what that does. Oh, let's make this window bigger. Make this window smaller. Make these about even. Okay. So now, give me in there. There we go. All right, click. Cool. So yeah, so now we're looking in our zoom window, our zoom room. We can tell because it's all blue because that's what color I made the zoom room. So now I can look around this object, and then I'll figure out how to get the shading so we don't see the corners, and then it'll just look like a solid background color in the background, essentially. One sec. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we got that going now. Okay, so now let's fix the issue where we end up inside the box like that. And I'm not actually sure the nicest way to do that. So let's just... What is that about? Oh. Oh, I completed a new stream achievement. Interesting. Okay, so... Let's see, Unity prevent camera from going through object. I'm not sure if like recommended physics way or if you want to touch around the phone, camera through, create an empty, give the empty a box slider and set it to the exact location of the camera. Finally, set the empty object as the camera's parent. Now, when you move it empty, it moves the camera and it won't go through the walls. Yeah, that's kind of the approach I was thinking of, but Finally set now when you move empty, it moves the camera. Okay, we'll try that. I'm not sure if that's going to work perfectly in our scenario or not, but let's give it a try. So, let's make an empty object. Create empty, not on that guy. We'll call it zoom camera object. And put zoom camera in there. Then we give this a box collider. Physics and box collider. Alright, and then we'll have to kind of play with the size of that. Let's position the camera to be 0, 0, 0, so it's basically inside that game object. And then should be, yeah, so our camera's right there. Can actually see the camera. Oh, right, because it's turned off. Duh. And actually, let's turn that on and turn this guy off. And then we will okay, so let's do that. Let's go over here. I'm going to change. I don't think we're doing anything with the zoom camera that's actually camera specific. So I'm just going to change this to game object. And we're going to go hook, instead of hooking the camera, we're going to hook that guy on. And then let's see what havoc that caused. Click. Oh, it didn't actually cause too much havoc. Cool. Zoom in. Alright, it did still collide, and so then I have to add, so I didn't set anything on the mesh collider to stop it colliding. So it is trigger is enable is used for triggering. No, I want to give them set the exact click of file, and I set the object as a camera. Now when you move, it moves the camera, and it won't go through the walls. I want yeah, see, they're doing a raycast one. That's kind of alright. Let's do prevent box collider. Box colliders from overlapping. Yeah, I think we actually have to add a rigid body as well. Yeah, so add a rigid body. No gravity, because that would make it drop like a rock. And okay, and then give this guy a rigid body, mesh collider and a rigid body too. Well, actually, I can't give it a mesh collider on that guy. I'll have to do it on these guys for now. Add a rigid body and add a rigid body over here. And no gravity. Alright, see what that does now. So, click. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, there we go. So it's actually... I knocked the lid off of the box at the camera. That's funny. But yeah, so... our camera's falling down. Alright, so yeah. So there's the one problem with that is if you start hitting things, you end up causing physics to work, and we don't really want it to be physical. So that might not actually be the best approach, though amusing. Alright, so I'm going to take that rigid body off. I'm going to take this rigid body off. And we won't do it that way, so I'm going to pull this guy back out, delete that. Then we'll go switch this back to a camera. And reassign that camera to this guy. Okay. Alright. So let's do make sure we're working again. Click. Move, zoom, and I can clip through. Okay. So now, something took over my mouse. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's not go with that approach. So let's try another approach. So this one I think is basically using array to calculate the distance, how close you are, and then if you're too close, stop. My from third person camera. One method. Recast, speed to fix clipping, flex clipping. Store the local position, local variable, just use a for loop to reduce the local z. Blah blah blah, down to 0 at each iteration. We use raycast from the front to make sure the player is in front of the camera. Alright, I'm gonna make something up. Alright, so we'll start out. So when we go to zoom, so right here, we'll do, and I always forget the raycast syntax, so I'm going to copy the other one I'm doing. Where is it? Physics.raycast. Okay, so the ray is zoom camera dot screen point to ray. No, maybe zoom camera dot, yeah, I guess screen point to array can work. We'll just do the middle of the screen basically. Let's see if there's any other more appropriate function. No, that's pretty much the only ray spitting out function camera has. So screen point to ray, screen dot width divide by 2, screen dot height divide by 2. And we'll do that since our camera is basically centered on the thing we're rotating around. Oh wait, position. Let's do vector 2. Vector 2 or 3? 2. Screen point to array. Oh yeah. We're doing a 2, and 2s can be explicitly cast to 3. Or implicitly cast to 3. And explicitly, but we're doing an implicit. Okay. And then we need here for the rest of the raycast, we need the hit. Hit. Out hit. Why are you grumpy? Let's see, that's the vector. Oh, wait, I need one more there. Okay. Alright, so do that, and then do and I want to do, so it should unless things go funny, because we're firing it from the straight into the screen, from the screen, and from the center, and we should be centered on the object we care about, and looking straight at that object, we should always hit the object. So let's just output, for now, we'll output the object we hit just to make sure we hit the thing we think we hit. Hit.transform.gameObject.name. So we'll start there. So, where am I? There I am. Alright, so zoom. Oh yeah, body 1 is actually the name of it. Okay. So we're actually hitting the thing that has the collider on it, which is the body of the lockbox, because rays will only hit colliders, and our colliders are on those two things, which is okay. So we can do that, and then how do we get distance? So I'm going to see what distance is. Get me on the bottom of that. There we go. Okay, click distance. Huh, interesting. So here we flip to 3. Actually, let's output that and gameObject or transform.gameObject.name. So that put what we're hitting to. Alright, so click, zoom. Hitting the body. Alright, so now we're actually hitting the room cube. Alright. So, I think basically, so we have we have the easy thing where we're going just head on to it. That's easy enough to deal with. We can just be like, hey, will the next tick put us, is the amount of distance we're about to move more than the distance to the thing? If so, don't do that. But then we also have this guy where we were okay, but then we rotated and now we're not okay. So I think maybe what we should do is, so I think if we raycast behind us, we might see. Okay, yeah, so see, that's interesting. So like here, I guess because I'm on the inside of the collider, it's not registering the collider, because notice we're hitting cube, which is this guy, the wall behind it. Which kind of shoots down my idea of if we raycast behind us and see the box, then we know we need to back up. And then the other option is we could always just have a fixed minimum distance, which maybe actually will be smoother. So like here we're okay, we don't hit that. So but then for like something rectangular like that, I mean, that's pretty far back. Although actually one thing we should do is maybe tweak the camera's focal point to let us kind of get closer to that without physically moving closer. Let's go play with the camera settings. Is that clipping plane? Is that? No. It's, well, yes. Shrinking this should let us get a little bit closer. Yeah, which I like that, because as opposed to like this. So that's one, that's good. I wonder how low we can go before it starts being like, you can't do that. Actually, let's go quite close. I kind of like that. So let's leave that, so then you can get like really crazy close if you want. So, and then, actually that may be all we need to play with. And we are like off center on this thing. It's much more noticeable now. Why are we off center? I wonder if it's the same deal as the room. And we have our lockbox not quite centered in its parent. So let's go. Drag it. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So let's shove both of these guys over a tick. Yeah. And I wish. Or actually, what if we just position this to 0? That should do it. And then we'll just manually tweak this guy to get him back in his position. Rotate, drag, zoom, rotate, zoom, zoom, zoom. Alright. And then combo lock. Make it closer. And down, 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 up. And take over. Up, 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 up. Double click. There we go. Alright. And scooch that way and there we go. Maybe a tick more. Alright, there we go. That looks pretty good now. Now we should be more centered because, yeah, there we go. Now we're pretty much perfectly centered. Nice. Okay, and let's put that 0.01 into play here. We'll need to read up on that and see if there's any unintended consequences of such a small near clipping plane, but I think we should be okay. Wait. Still don't think we're perfectly centered. We're definitely not. Although, is that a consequence of me rotating, maybe? No, I don't think we're centered. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look at that. So I think we're centered. We're still not centered that way either. Back. Let's do. Alright. Grab that guy. Wait, I just changed that to zeros. When did it reset? Was I in game mode when I did that? Boo. Oh well. Let's do this. Okay. So I can move both at once. I'm going to copy that and do negative. That didn't work how I wanted it to work. Is there an option to... No. Maybe. Yeah, that'll work for now. That way I can kind of tell where I'm aiming. It's not exactly what I want, but it's good enough. Basically from every direction I should be smack in the middle of that circle there. A little more. That way a bit, and that way a bit, back that way. Okay, there we go. I think that's a little better. Maybe back a little bit further. Okay. It's a little high now. So let's fix that real quick. Just down just a smidge. There we go. Okay, and now we can get real up close and personal on it, which is nice. And then and we can rotate around. So now I think we will just go with the we'll just set a minimum distance to maintain, and then we'll use the ray. We'll check our distance, and if we are too close, we will go up to that distance value. So on zoomable, let's add a min distance, and we'll try like that maybe. Actually, what was our ray saying it was? So it's saying we were 0.15 away. Okay, so 0.1 might be good then, especially with that small near clipping plane. And then we'll go here, and then here we'll do so basically we're measuring the distance to the object facing forward. So if that distance turns out to be too short, we'll just move backwards the difference between them. So we'll basically do this guy negative forward times well, if hit dot distance is less than zoom target dot min distance, and we'll do negative forward, aka backwards, and then we'll just do hit, let's see, hit will be the smaller of the two, so zoom target dot min distance minus hit dot distance. Okay, let's see what that causes. Alright, I flipped right through it. Alright, interesting. So here, when I scroll slowly, it won't let me go through it, but if I do a really big scroll value, it does flip through it. So what we might have to do instead is actually measure it before we move, and then we'll cap it. We'll clamp it here instead. So let's do this. Pop this up here. And we're not even going to put it in an if statement because we're pretty much guaranteed to hit it. And that might come back and bite me later, but that's what I'm doing for now. Okay. And then we'll do here, we'll basically just do the minimum between this possibility and this possibility. Okay. What are you complaining about? Inline var, what? No. Okay, sure. Why not? Da, 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 da. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see what that does. Took over my mouse again. Okay. Come back. Alright. Where am I? There. Click. Whoa! We just rocketed into outer space going backwards. And actually, that's probably, at least in part, because this needs to be a negative number. And when we did it in the other place, we we did negative forward, but we don't want to do negative forward here, so we're going to try this instead. Okay, so click, click. And we're still going backwards, just slower. Weird. Oh, that won't work either. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we can't just use min because this guy might be negative or positive, and this guy might also be negative or positive, so we need whichever one has the greater absolute value. So let's do distance equals this guy, or min distance equals this guy, and then oh well, really, actually, now that I look at it, really we only ever want to do the hit distance if the hit distance in this case is negative. So let's see, if like that was 0.5, wait, not times, minus. So if our minimum is 0.1 and it turns out that our actual is 0.05, then we want to, well, no. Yeah, because we want to not let it get too close in the first place. So if we do, so we do want this to be positive. Distance. So we want that part to be positive. But then this part can be positive or negative. And if it's negative, we're okay with that. If it's positive, actually this might work. I think I was just multiplying there and that was wrong. So if it's negative, this will be the min. If it's positive and we're far away, this will be the min. If it's positive and we're too close, that'll be the min. Yeah, that should actually work, I think. Except, yeah, no, I think that might work. Let's find out. See if we rocket into space again. We rocketed faster. Rocketed. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's because so min distance, well, actually, are these backwards again now? So min distance is 0.1. That's like 50. So yeah, that would be negative. These are backwards again. Okay. So there we go. Now we're not launching into space. So I can go forward and backward. And there we go. I can try to get real close and, oops, wrong button. Get real close and it doesn't do it. And then if I spin, oh nice. I don't know if you noticed that, but when I cut around the corner here, watch, it'll push me back because I end up too close. See how it backs me up? Then I can zoom in again. So perfect. That works nicely then. So now we can't force our way inside the box. But I can still click. Well, I can't yet. Okay. So now that we got the zoom going, let's hook back up the clickable interactions on here that I used to have. So, let's clean this guy up real quick first. Target transform equals zoom target.transform, and then it's like introduce variable, but it's like just use the one I made. Okay, and actually we can even go zoom target, we just want position. And it's going over my line there, so let's wrap this around. And get rid of that. Any other debug blocks I have? Okay. Keep that one though. Alright, and now let's go. Okay, so we want now basically let's add a new function. Handle zoom interact. And actually, you know what? We can do cursor move. What does cursor move to again? Yeah, so those two should always go. If zoom target is null, do these, else do these. Let's make that zoom interact one. And then we can also get rid of this check in all of these guys because we're not going to call them if that's not the case anyways. And ditto for these guys. Clean things up a little bit. Okay, cool. Yeah, and that should stay. Okay. So now zoom interact. So basically we're going to do array just like we did before. And I mean, it's pretty much basically this with a little bit of differences. And for now, I'm going to copy and paste it. We might, well, not might. We'll try to clean this up later, but for now, we'll go with that. And then, okay. Only difference here is instead we want clickable. And then, no. It's called click. Oh, it's actually iClickable now. There we go. Need to rename this file. Edit, rename, iClickable. Okay. So, if we're clickable, then we don't need any of this. We literally just do object dot unclick. Okay, so now right click, click, zoom, zoom, zoom. If it does what I hope it does, it doesn't do what I hope it. Well, wait, what? Wait, what? I am confused now. So we. Oh, really? Oh, right, because I'm using zoom camera, or main camera there. That's the problem. We opened the wrong box. We want to open the clone version. Alright. So open. Yeah, and obviously I haven't hooked the lock up to it yet, but I just want to see that the click event works, and I should be able to change the dials on here. My mouse is a little jittery. Weird. It's like sometimes it's smooth. Oh, you know what? Is it because I'm trying to make fine movements? That thing I was like, yeah, that'll never happen. I think that might be happening. Start current position. Or I wonder if instead of even looking at look input, maybe if, because the mouse should have already updated, maybe if we do current dot position equals cursor position, not. Why are you grumpy? Suspicious comparison. There's right, because this is that weird control value. And let's pull that up into a variable because we're doing that read thing. Read value position. So basically, if our mouse doesn't equal our mouse position, that means, in theory, we're physically using the mouse versus using the gamepad. And then if we... Otherwise, we'll check the gamepad. So let's see if that works any better. Yeah, there we go. Now it's nice and smooth. And let's make sure the gamepad still works. Gotta reconnect it. Alright, so the gamepad sucks now. Yeah. So... Alright, so we should have warped it there, so it should have equaled. I wonder if, do we have like a rounding error going on maybe? Dot position dot read value. Now, cursor position. Because now it like won't let me move my mouse beyond like a small radius. Or it won't let, yeah, it won't let me move it with the controller in a small radius. Okay, so that's still good. Alright, this guy. So I'm just holding right here. So only the second value is changing. Yeah, the mouse's position never actually changes, which is interesting. Because it should be getting warped. Yeah, and if it doesn't update, then it's basically going to do this, and so it's going to pull me back, and I just get into a vicious cycle where they keep overriding one another, which is why I'm staying put. Huh. Interesting. I don't think I can set the mouse position, can I? With this. Yeah, didn't think so. Port position, which is what we're using already. Interesting. So I'm going to disable this bit for a second. I just want to see, does it ever change if it's not forcing it back? Because I wonder if maybe it takes more than one tick to force it back, perhaps. Okay. Yeah, so now I can use that freely, but my mouse is totally freaking out on me. Yeah, zoom down there. Okay. Alright. So, yeah, see? So we're calling warp position, so it's like visually moving it, but it never actually updates what it has stored as the position, which is really annoying. Interesting. Alright, let's exit the game. Oops. Alright, I want to go read what that says. Unity, mouse, warp. What is it? Warp cursor position? Warp cursor position. Not update immediately, but rather will update in the next input update. But like the input update, I think never updates because I turned off the old update thing. Wonder, maybe if we go turn this guy back on, not that. Input, nope, not that. It's player, other. Try using both. Let's see if maybe the mouse position will update. So I had switched to just use the new one to avoid any conflicts, but kind of wonder if we can't do that and still use the mouse. I'll do that later. Okay, so back to drawing little circles. So yeah, that didn't really change anything there. Although now that we have that, let's double check that. See if it still never updates or if it'll update eventually. Okay, so yeah, no, it never changes unless I actually use the mouse itself. Okay, well, alright, I did think of one other alternative. If we let's see how easy it makes it do this, or lets us do this. Let's add a new one. Call it toggle gamepad. So what I'm thinking is, actually, get rid of the spaces. If we are able, like, I'd like to do like a gamepad any, so literally you hit any button on there. We'll set some flag to indicate you're using the gamepad. Otherwise, we'll have something for if you yeah, but even then, if you just move, well, yeah, we detect moving the mouse and we can set something for there. I don't see any like any ones though, which is disappointing. Well, I guess we don't have to do any. For this particular case, what if we just did the right stick on the gamepad. I might need a more robust solution down the line, but for now, if we just do that, and then we do toggle mouse, get rid of the spaces, and then we do mouse position X or mouse position Y. Then we'll normalize these because we just need like an on or off. Normalize. Min 0, max is 1, 0 is 0. Okay. Or actually, we'll still have to do -1 or else it'll be 0 and we won't be able to tell. And normalize. -1, 1, 0. Okay, and then gamepad, game stick. Okay, yeah, it looks like they're different. Okay. So now we'll do, let's add an enum input mode, and we'll have mouse, and we'll have gamepad. What do you want? Yeah, I'm about to. And then down here we'll do private input mode, and we'll start out with mouse. And then down here we'll do input actions dot play controls dot toggle mouse dot start. Started because I only want to do it once, and that'll be input mode equals mouse. We'll do input actions dot player controls dot toggle gamepad dot started plus equals ctx input mode dot gamepad. Okay, and then down here, where we keep fighting ourselves, we'll just do if input mode equals input mode dot mouse, and that we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll do input mode equal input mode dot gamepad and that, and yeah, let's try that. Alright, everyone cross your fingers. Alright, so. Alright, we seem happy. Hitting the right stick, still seem happy. Going back to mouse. And we jump. Are we happy or not? I can't tell. I feel like it's moving too much, but we might be happy. Yeah, no, it's stuttering. Yeah, nope, it's unhappy. Alright, so let's do this. Console log. Console log our input mode. We'll make sure that they're actually switching back and forth like we think they should be. Okay. Alright, so happy mouse. We're in mouse mode. Why don't you scroll? So annoying. And then the stick. Oops, got a clear in there. Alright, so we're gamepad mode. And then back to mouse mode. Alright, so we're not switching back to mouse mode here. So that's why we're freaking out. So that means this guy might not be firing. Why are you no fire? Let's go double check. Wonder, actually, I think that might be wrong. I think this might actually be the values that it gives, and it'll normalize it down to 1, 1. Let's see what that does. Okay. Alright, happy mouse, good debug. Alright, happy gamepad. And oh, we're back to happy mouse. Happy gamepad. Huh. Takes a while for mouse to get back on. That's a little weird. Still gamepad here. Why aren't we back to mouse yet? Alright, mouse, gamepad. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's because we didn't add a dead zone to this guy. Because without a dead zone, unless it's like perfect, it will keep doing an input value and they're never perfect. So I wonder if that kept hijacking it back. Okay. So mouse, gamepad, mouse, still gamepad. Alright, so for gamepad, and that's the right stick is look. So let's go and output what look is and see if look is still. If I don't move the mouse, do we still get a look? Okay, mouse, gamepad, stop moving gamepad. Alright, we're at 0. Move mouse. So we're registering values. Should be registering them with the mouse, but we're still gamepad. Why are we still gamepad? It's really hard to click that button when the mouse is acting up. Okay. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's because we're using started, but these should probably be performed. Because for mouse, it may never really cancel mouse input. Okay. So mouse, 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 mouse. Gamepad, gamepad, gamepad. Alright, we popped back that time. But let's see. Gamepad. Still gamepad. Still gamepad. Okay, so I'm not touching mouse at all. But I saw one flicker in there. I'm wondering if gamepad took it back over again. Let's crank the dead zone way up on that, maybe. Alright, what was the... Oh, I see. Okay, I just want to change this guy. Try putting that up at 4. Okay. Alright. Mouse, 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 mouse. Oops. Mouse, mouse. Gamepad, gamepad. Still gamepad. Why don't we switch back? I don't have something stupid like setting it to gamepad here, do I? No. Toggle mouse, toggle gamepad. Get rid of the normalized bit. We don't need it normalized. Literally, if it fires, we want the mouse. Mouse, mouse. Game, game. Still game. Alright, we're back to mouse. Game. Still game. Still game. Still game. Why aren't you mouse? Yeah, let me have my mouse. There. Alright. Better option than... Can you just click position as a whole, maybe? Let's see if that does any better. Delete that one. Save. Alright. Mouse, mouse, mouse. Game, game, game. Mouse, hey, there we go. Mouse, mouse. Game, mouse. There we go. Mouse, game, mouse, game, mouse, game. Mouse, mouse, mouse. Game, game, game. Mouse. There we go. I think that'll work. So, although, hang on, let's check one thing. So if I go way down and then move my mouse, does it jump? Nope. Okay. Cool. I think that'll do it. A little circuitous, but as long as it works. Okay, so got that, got interacting on the box. Let me hide this guy real quick. Time is it? It's only 8:50. Let's see. Okay, so now let's code out a thing so we can make the, so right now we have zoom, zoom, zoom. If I click this, the box will open up, but the box is supposed to be locked. So let's make it, well, let's do a couple things. First, we'll make it so that this guy will play, we'll give this guy an unlock animation. So when we get the right code, it'll unlock. And then we'll do it, we'll unlock, and then we'll make it, do we want to make it fall and sit there, or just kind of fall and disappear? I think I'm leaning more towards fall and disappear. And if we had a special case where like the lock itself had something on it and we wanted it to stick around, we could create a special version of that lock. But I think probably 99% of the time, once you get the lock open, you don't care about the lock anymore. Oh, and we didn't implement click and drag here. Oh well, we'll do that later. But yeah, so we'll give the lock an animation, then we'll make it so we can set the code for the lock, and then once the lock's code is open, it'll play the lock animation and just fall and disappear. And we'll turn on gravity. So we'll give it a rigid body that will be off normally, but then once it gets it, we'll play an animation to where it'll, move the thing up and rotate the base and then turn it so it can, and then we'll turn gravity on and it'll just fall, and then once it's sufficiently far enough to be off screen, we'll just destroy it. We'll make it disappear. And then once the lock's off, we'll trigger the box's animation, so you can't just click and open the box. Alright, let's do that. Alright, first up, the animation. So, Combo lock. Alright, so let's go to animations. Make a new animation. Combo lock. And delete this animator controller. Oh, it's already deleted. And then add a new animator. Let's do the animation first. Okay. So for the lock, for the lock. Oh, I have to attach the controller first. Combo lock needs a controller. Okay, now I should be able to do the animation. Or not. What am I missing? Do I have to associate the combo lock to... Oh, there, great. Oh wait, I did that already. Oh, I guess I have to do it from here. Or else it's not attached right. Okay. So add property, so the body. Oh, actually, I just realized I need to group these guys inside of there. Where is it? Ah, there. Move those guys inside of body. That way when I move body, I'll move the discs as well, so I don't have to try to animate all 5 of them, or all 6 of them together. Okay, so that's good there. Okay, so now add property, so the body. Body transform. I guess both actually. So we'll do position first. So we're just going to, so 0, it's there. We'll go out 1 second and we will drop it down to there. Is that right? Didn't give myself a whole lot of clearance there, did I? Teensy bit more. Oops, no, don't do that. Go back. Wait, when do we reset? Oh, right. I always forget that. You have to hit record before you start moving things around. Right about there is good. Okay. So we do that. So it'll fall down, and then once it's fallen down, we'll hop over here, add a key. We will rotate it out. So let's add a property, body transform rotation. So we'll rotate it. Not there though. I want to rotate it from that far edge, but it won't let me do that, will it? So I guess maybe I'll have to rotate both, or do both of these at the same time. Keep it that whole lined up. That's okay. Alright. Let's see what we got so far. Ah! Why don't you reset? Wait, what? Alright, you're just being a jerk on purpose, aren't you? Alright, let's try this again. Go back here. Click that. Click record. Make the change. little further. Okay, and unrecord. Now play. Why aren't you saving my stuff here? What am I forgetting? Look at this guy real quick. Lid, flipper. Yeah, should be all I need to do. Click there. Body position. What's that little symbol? Okay, so that's the position. I was gonna do something. Oop, hand. Chord. Why do you hate me? Let me do that change real quick. Okay. Body combo lock. Down, 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 down. Alright, so why is that? Why is still the same value on both? Let's remove those for a second. Let's start over. Alright. Body. Transform. Position. Okay. At this position, I want it to be down. Doesn't do anything, but body. Put myself here. Close it up. Animation. Alright, let's just go there. So it create what was that about? Well, that was weird. Don't understand what I'm forgetting here. Because it even made the keyframe when I made the change here. So it like knew I was making a change. It just didn't respect the change. I wonder. It's not because it's a prefab, is it? 30 down. Okay. The change value is right over there. Okay. Alright, I wonder if I have to apply the animator to it before I can do this, maybe. Alright, go there. Down, down, down. Stop the recording. Play. Doesn't move it at all. And then when I click off of it, it goes back to how it was a second ago, which is weird too. Alright, to the Googles. Animation. Screw it. I'll just look at an animation tutorial again. State is reset when animation clips are. No. What's that tutorial I found? Oh, here. What's this one? I didn't look at this one. Alright. Clip. Okay. And then create a new clip, how we put together. It's not what I want. Maybe this. No, that was a premium one. I found one the other day. Or like yesterday. Animation not working for prefab, maybe. Select the animation from the drop-down box in the animation component of your prefab. Animator. Actually, I wonder if I should delete this one and then add a new one. Because that was one thing I did on the other one, on the lockbox. Because that animator actually came over from Maya, and I wonder if there's something funny with it when I try to use this guy. Alright, so let's see if that changes anything. Alright, let's delete some of these extra keys. Alright, pick a spot. Do that. Down. I'm gonna go down. Okay. Okay, so that's working there now. Okay, there we go. Now it works. Yeah, it must have just been something funny with that animator that got brought over from Maya. Alright, good. I'm not crazy. Whew. I was worried. Okay, so let's drag you down. Okay, and then play that real quick, just make sure. Alright, so down. And then after we go down, we'll go here. And then add property, body, transform, rotation. And from here, gonna change the rotation. Go out a little more than normal. And then we gotta get it lined up here. Out just a tick, I think. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's ugly. It doesn't keep our position doesn't keyframe properly. Yeah, so we're gonna have to alright, stop recording. recording stopped playing. Gonna have to put clasp. Does that open it up? Yeah. Gonna have to put, or not clasp, gonna have to put body into a new empty as well. Actually, no, they're both bad. Okay. So we'll do this. We'll do body. Put that. Get in there. I'm gonna pull these guys out. Let's call it base. Zoom in. Okay. Then I'm gonna grab all of you guys. And let's give this guy a little dot. A very little dot, apparently. Oh wait, I don't even see the dot. Where is that dot? Why aren't you showing up? Weird. Oh. Too zoomed in to see it. My lock is tiny. Well, that's kind of dumb. Anyways, grab these guys, shove them over so that the hole where I want it to pivot around is in the middle of here. And let's see. Alright, not quite. Back a little bit. Back a little further. That might actually be good. But let's go ahead and we'll shove this down too to get it centered that way as well. Maybe a little further this way. Okay, I think that's good. And then we're basically going to do the same process with the clasp, which this one should be easier because we should just basically have to line it back up into the hole. And down. Oh, actually though, this one pivots from that side, so let's actually shove this guy's center over there. And then shove this guy back over here. Lined up as that. Is that good? That looks okay, I think. See an obvious gap in there. Okay. So now, if we take this guy, or if we take this guy, move him down. Oh, that also means I did this one on the wrong side. Darn it. Alright, grab this guy, take him over here, and then grab all these guys, and move them back over here. It's too far. Okay. That's good. Alright, so now if we are on this guy, nope, okay, it's off still. There. There, question mark? Yeah. Alright, so now we drop that guy down, and then we would rotate around that, and it's still off because we get out of the hole. Let me zoom in more. Alright, I need to figure out how to change the editor. near clipping. Unity editor, camera, clipping. Basically what I've been doing. It's not close enough. All right. All right. So I need. It's off this way. Or is it? No, it's not. It's pretty perfectly lined up. It's off this way. About there. Then shove you back over to line you up again. Okay. Let's try that now. So, if we go down and around. Alright, I'm gonna call that good enough. I'll probably re-import this model later and line it up better in Maya, which I have a little more control over. Hello. Oh yeah. I forgot, this thing isn't totally straight where I hooked it up. Because really I want to start it right there. Because you can see where it curves the start of it. I want to line up to that actually, but I can't. Yeah, I need to redo this model a bit because I actually added that after the fact. After I punched the holes. Oh well. This will be good enough for now. Okay, so let's get out of here. Why? Body. Base paper. Clasp. Okay. Oh wait, were we just like mid animation maybe? Hopefully. Nope. Body, clasp. Why are you guys so far out? Overrides. Revert that. Okay, there we go. Now, did you take back my animation? I guess you did. Alright, man. Yep. Okay. So, take 87. Reattach that. Now, go to the animation. Alright. So at this point, we... Wait, what? Oh, do you still have stuff in your animation? Oh, you do. Alright. Blink that out. Delete. Blink this out. Delete. Okay. And now add body, transform position. And we'll go ahead and just add all of these that we need. We need this one. And we're gonna need the overall rotation. And the overall position. Okay. So, first up here, we are going to move this guy down. Then, here, we're going to rotate this guy. And while we're doing that, I want to rotate the whole thing. I'm gonna have to tweak the whole thing too. For now, we're just gonna do this, and it's gonna be ugly, but I need to redo the. I need to take this back in Maya and get all the pivots redone. I can do like that. So let's see what that looks like. No, that's terrible. Oh well. I'm gonna go with it for now. I don't want to play with the animation too much. I'll have to take it into Maya and do that. Alright. And now we just drop it off into Oblivion. And that may be way too fast for that, actually. Yeah, that's too fast. Let's drag that out a bit. And about there. Let's pull that up just a bit more. Okay. There we go. So there's that animation. And then go into this guy. And don't want that to autoplay, so we'll do that. Come here, we'll do create state empty, call this idle. Add a parameter. We'll do call this unlocked, and then add a need to go add this guy. How do I add that guy? From selected clip, but I don't have a selected clip. There we go. From selected clip. Actually, rename this to unlock. Create a transition. And the transition condition is unlocked is true. Okay. And why are you shoved over there? Down a bit. Okay. Alright, so now okay, so now we need to be able to trigger that. So let's go to our combo lock, and we're going to add a public value. Nope. Public string code. So this will be the code that is the good code, and then here's an event I have firing every time the disk changes. So we'll do if code equal value, and we want to get animator. I'll check how to do this. Only done it once. Yeah, we just do that. Okay, yeah. Animator and is it private or public? This dot animator equals get component animator. Not this. And then we need unlock hash equals animator dot it's not auto-completing. String to hash. And this is the same as that, so unlocked. Why are you grumpy? Oh. Int. Okay, and then if that's true, we do animator dot set trigger unlock cache, and it should unlock, and then we'll go, so we'll, let's be sure to apply this. Then we'll go here. Alright, so we're gonna set it to 2. How many 2s is that? 5. Yep, okay. So hit play. Click. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Click, 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 click. And I don't have all the numbers on the mesh yet, but 2 is the next one, I thought. Debug log value. Let's see what it is every time. Now, let's go back to here and get rid of there's a debug log somewhere. There. Get rid of that guy. Okay. Restart. Click, click, zoom, 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 click, click, click. Oh, it's not triggering my callback anymore. Something got goofed there. Alright, so unclick, combo lock, transform parent, get component. Do you not have, so the disk, it's not a direct parent anymore. Get component in parents now, or parent. Click, click, zoom, zoom, click, click, whoop, click, click, click. Okay, oh, there we go. Kind of worked. The animation turned totally terrible for some reason, but don't care. Our discs are like rotating in on themselves for some weird reason. Oh, actually, I do know the weird reason for that one. I have it forcing it here, which I don't want to do that anymore. How do I want to change that? This is setting the rotation of the disc, but is that doing it based on a world transform then instead of a local transform? That's not what I want. Transform.rotation. Yeah, this is a clunky way to do this anyways. Let's get rid of that. What do you want there? Inconsistent body style. Alright, that works. What's the better way to do this? Guess I can just do rotate. Well, yeah, so the trick is based on the position, I want to set a specific rotation, which is why I didn't just use rotate. But if I use rotation, excuse me, I have to make sure that I do this based on the world, not its local. And then really I want those to be 0 because they shouldn't have any rotation on them. Alright, so let's do Quaternion Euler angles local axis. see, that's basically what I'm doing, but... oh, wait, no, I'm creating a new one. Well, that... I think I tried that and it didn't go so well, but let's try it again. I may have done something funny with it last time. Variables equals new vector 3. So this will be position divided by values of length times 360. 0, well, not 0, 0. Transform dot your equals y. Transform dot your equals z. I think it was like it kept like tweaking z or something a tiny bit, and it would freak out on me. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Click, 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 click. Yeah, there it is. That's what it did last time I did this, and now it just rotates on its side for reasons. It's fine until it hits a certain point, and then it freaks out forever and ever. If we watch one of them, it's like, so click, and it rotated its X, click again, rotated its X, click, wait, why am I not seeing its X rotate? Oh, because I'm, oh wait, why am I not? It's weird. Click again, and party time. I don't know why it's not updating over there. That's weird. Oh, right, because I'm on the cloned version of it. Right. Okay. Click. Zoom, zoom. Alright, let's get the cloned version. Looking at combo lock, body, disk 5. Click. And then, oh wait, disk 1. Okay, so it rotated up, right, and then click. Did I miss? Click. And then RZ. Not really. Okay, and click. Party time. Yeah. So I try I guess I'll have to to volume, but they align with the overlaps. Rotate correctly, align correctly. That seems strong. I don't know if I've tried it yet. Okay, let's try this one then. So that's kind of a combo of what I did. Okay, so just go back to here. So basically, it's just transform.rotation times that. Right, click, zoom, click. Not exactly what I was going for. Kind of entertaining. It's unlocked. Interest. Oh, let's ditch this guy. Alright. Right click, click, zoom, zoom, zoom. Still party time. Man, I need to sleep more. Let's double check real quick. Yeah, it should be the local x-axis that we want to rotate about. It's also interesting that it goes into like full-on party mode instead of just like changing once. What's it changing between actually? Might be useful info to know. Click, zoom, zoom, zoom. Let's get this open. Look at its values. Bait disk. Okay. So we're at 0, 0, 9, negative 90. And click. So it's stepping through our Y. That's curious. Huh. Yeah, I mean, that's all they did. Wonder what happens if we put this on the Y instead of the X. Click. Zoom, zoom, click. Party time on the axis we wanted to rotate around at least. Oh, okay. I do know why it's going party time, because we're doing this multiplication every time, and because we're changing the rotation, we're re-updating it. So actually, let's try, because now it's kind of an additive instead of a one-off. So let's try putting this in start, maybe. Because one thing we do want is we want the ability to like set an initial value out here. So like if I go to here and I set it to 1, I want it to start in that position, which it did. Okay, so now let's try only doing that math on click. That is terrible tabbing. Yeah, I guess that can be times equal, can't it? Oh, it's not been formatted there. Okay. Although if it's times equal, we'll see. Click, 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 click. Looks like it's kind of bouncing around. Yeah, and I think that's probably because it's still not actually sure why I'm changing the Y instead of the X, but yeah, I have no clue. It must be rotated at 90 degrees or something. If I knew what our previous position was, which actually I do, I guess, here, because our previous position was just 1. So really, if I just do that, do 360 divided by that. No, I should increment it. go. That looks like it works. Without being party time. Okay. So let's try to get it to the right value and see if it looks right. Oh, except that one's actually off by 1 now. Oh no, it keeps going. We have to go make that die after 1. Okay, so that's off by 1. So we started at 1. So why do we want? How are you off by 1? So we change that. Position you. Let's look at it. Actually, hang on a sec. I want to tweak our zoom camera a bit more. Let us get a little closer still. Let's go half of that maybe. And we'll change this guy. Actually, I guess I didn't need to change the clipping distance because we weren't using all that clipping distance yet. Alright, click, zoom, zoom. There we go. Now you can see him clearly. Okay, yeah, and we actually are off by 1 right here because our peg should be right there. So we'll just do on start. We'll do the same thing actually, except divide by position. No. Divide by value still. Multiply by position. Still off. All right, let's see here. What an issue of streaming? Nope, I think it's just my tab died on me. There we go. Right. Yeah, okay. Position. So let's see, so if the position is 1, 360 divided by values.length, which is 12 for this guy, is going to be 30. So position, so 1 times 30. Sure, right? Let's see what the value actually is though. So wait. Yeah, I mean it said, oh wait, it is working there. Ooh. That's fine. That one's wrong. But the other one was right? That's odd. We still need to fix these controls here. But let's adjust that clipping plane too real quick. Camera. Oh, 1. Let you get nice and close to look at things well. Okay, so there it's correct. Oh, because yeah, so because it's in start, it happens once for the other. Then we clone the other one, but the clone gets its start called again, so we move it one more tick. That's how we're off by one. So, how do we fix that? Yeah, and that's where the whole, you know what, maybe here we can get away with just an equal, and then here we do the times equal. Let's see if that works out for us. Not even, well, maybe transform dot rotation dot normalize. Okay, so what did that do? Alright, good. So we have one there. Click this. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Still off! Grrrr. Yeah, because we're still even normalizing that. Alright. And if we do this, switch these around. Yeah, I need to do some thinking and investigating on that so I can understand the math going on behind that, because I still don't know. You're still really off. I don't know why. No. Don't know why we're I don't know why that turned sideways. And I also don't know why we're doing Y down here. Yeah, you can't be 0. Transform dot rotation dot Y. Transform dot rotation dot Z, maybe. Nope. Alright, stop it. Stop it. Murder. Took over my mouse. Let's go. So why is our mouse freaking out like that? That was kind of weird. Huh. Okay. Oh, wait. That needs to be your angles. It's Y and Z. Okay. So that did okay. There we go. That'll work. Unlock and fall off. Alright, there we go. So that's not too bad. Okay, so now we need to make that animation not auto loop for all of eternity. So, how did I do that last time? It was speed. Was it cycle offset I did something with? No, I want to say there was a there's like something about sometime. Let's look at the other one I did. Because that one I got to stop. What did I do on it? 001. Idle, tree. Somewhere there's a value. defaults. Was that on? Was that on the other one? Yeah. Unless, oh wait, it may have been on the animation itself. You. It's like, there it is, loop time off. Alright. Now, click, zoom, zoom, zoom. Click, no, that's okay. Click, 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 click. Fall off, down, and alright, cool. And then I want to figure out how to destroy it at the end of its animation. Let's see. The event animation ends. Take a look at the sure you want to change variables and click at behavior, and that script will have a unstate exit create by default. Change variables there, and you will be sure that change some kind of zero no plane doesn't occur. Might work. It seems a little clunky, but I think that'll be easier for the little thing I want to do than the doing that whole behavior thing. Oh wait, you're not. This needs to go on combo lock. Down. Here. What are you guys squiggly for? Okay, and alright, let's see what happens. I kind of think their code may run the whole time. Yeah. That may actually be uglier than I want. Playing. It's both playing and not playing at the same time. It's a quantum state. Alright, I have yeah, no. Guess we will do this. Not that one. This one. No, not that one. This one, maybe. Yeah. Unstate exit. Alright, let's see if we can figure out how to do that one. So we do here, add behavior, use it looks like that might be specific. Where does it live? Does it live? There it is. Oh yeah. State machine behavior. Okay. Called right after animator on machine. But how do I associate that with state info contain the thing that the object we're moving? Maybe animator. I guess animator actually shouldn't it? Game object, keyword.log, like name. We'll see if this has it. Didn't even get called. On state update. Alright, so it's updating. Oh, right. We probably need to make a transition here. Zoom, click, 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 fall. And call exit. Go look at this one. Goes to end and then it comes right back in. That's not exactly what I want. But if it calls end, then we should be good. Comment that out. Alright, click, zoom, zoom, click, 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 click. Open unlock fall. And do console log. It did. Perfect. Okay. So now we'll just call destroy animator.gameObject and we'll destroy the whole lock. And if it's destroyed, it can't autoplay. And we're gonna rename this guy to destroy on animation end, because that's something that can be reused. It'll just destroy itself when it ends. And we'll rename this guy to edit, rename, destroy on animation end, and let's chuck it into the scripts folder. Okay, and okay. Now then, let's see if I make sure it still works. Click, click, zoom, 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 click, 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 click. Fall down and poof. Perfect. Alright. And now... Oh, actually, that's good. I was going to have the box open, but I think it's kind of nice that the lock disappears and then you click it. But now we have to hook up some way to know, is it unlocked? Because right now you can open it even with the lock sitting there. So, how do I want to do that? Let's say... So we want to associate it with the lock, and then we want to know if the lock is unlocked, or really we want to know, is the lock destroyed or unlocked, because the lock will destroy itself or it'll just be unlocked. Okay, so what do you want? Sometimes you want public. No, just whatever, just leave it for now. Okay, so let's make a new interface called lock. public interface, iLock. And this will just have a is locked. Okay, and that's an interface. Get rid of that gobbledygook. Okay. And then combo lock, we'll implement iLock. And so for this guy, since it's always going to destroy itself on unlock, actually, instead of that, we'll do is it this syntax? Let's always murder. It's locked. Get. Nope. I always think their syntax is so goofy. Alright, Boolean is locked. Yeah, you know what? Let's go. Do that. Implement missing. Where'd it go? There it is. Get return true. Since it destroys itself when it's unlocked, then we're just going to have it always return locked true. Yeah, stop it. There we go. That was the syntax I was trying for earlier. Okay. And then lockbox will have a lock or an iLock. And then if lock equal null or not lock dot public I don't know what it wants me to do there. Oh, is lock a reserve word? There we go. Okay. That's a stupid reserve word. Alright, so if lock object, and actually we'll do the lock object null bit here, because apparently it's the expensive operation. Is null. Alright, so if lock is null or not lock object dot is locked, then we're allowed to trigger the opening of it. Otherwise we won't. Let me rename this guy. Words. Okay. Then we need to go here and we need to associate to the lock box the lock. Wait, why isn't it there? Oh, stop playing. Still not there. Okay. iLock, lockbox, public iLock, lock object. Oh, this needs to be a mono behavior. Well, it does, but scriptable interface maybe. What was that? Script. What is that called? Unity scriptable object. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Scriptable object. But that's not a class either. How did you do clickable? Clickable, I just did that way, but I can't actually assign that. Alright, we'll have to do it like that. So it's a class, that, and it extends mono behavior, but it's abstract. And that's abstract. Public. Okay, there we go. And then you will just have that. Rename that file as well. Okay, and then you will just implement that. And there we go. Okay, that should be good. Now, there we go. Now I can drag a lock on there. So, lock it up with that. Now, if I play, oops, smashing into my green screen. Click, 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 zoom, zoom. Alright, fall off. And I can't click the box yet. Okay, it's gone. Click, click, click. Let me open you. Let me in. Alright. So not quite. So let's go back to this guy. So debug.lock is, oh, that's right. I can't do this here because we because we're setting that on start when it exists, but we need to know when it doesn't exist, and we will need to just do that somewhere. Oh shoot, what's the syntax for this? Is it this? No, it's or does C# even have a syntax for that? Nullable. What do you call that? I'm gonna call a nullable chain. Don't think that's what I'm looking for. Null conditional operator, that's it. And then let's see, C# default value for null conditional operator. Null coalescing, that was the term I was trying to think of. More or less equivalent to blah 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 blah. Except that people variable is only evaluated once, so it's more like this. Blah 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 blah. That's it. Question. That was close. I was half right. What are you grumpy about? Time check on the underlying. So what do you want? Not equal. Oh yeah, I do have to do it that way because the magic thing that Unity does with game objects and null. Okay. Click, zoom. Oh, actually, let's try clicking here first. No, wait. Oh, no, it opened. If it equals null or not. Flip the condition around. Okay, click, click, zoom, zoom, click, 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 click. Fall off. Right now I can't click it. Click it now. Hey, it opened. I'm in. Yay. Okay. So now we need to get that state change to reflect over here. So like we're zoomed in and we can't see this guy and we get it open. When we click off of here, we want this to be open now. So, and don't forget, every so often I click somewhere weird and then my mouse freaks out. Okay. Let's go to, actually real quick, one thing I just thought of. I want to not do this anymore. I want to set it in the other place. Where was that other place? Here maybe? Not there. Somewhere I had seen that. This one. Default cursor. Okay. Okay, okay. Basically same thing. I just don't want it in the code anymore. Okay. So now, how do we reflect the state of our zoomed object back to the original object? So it is a clone. So one thing we could possibly do would just be to swap the two, maybe. Unity swap two objects. Yeah, that could be one way to do it. I can't think of any real downsides to it either, so let's do that. So we'll do, so when we go to here, so here we go, blank out. Instead of destroying the zoom target, I'm going to set the zoom target's position, position equal to the, actually, I'm just going to take the whole darn transform, equal to, although we don't keep the original zoom target, so we're going to have to store that. Private object original zoom target. Is that right here? Original zoom target equals object dot game object. Okay, and then back here, do original zoom target dot transform. Why are you grumpy? Don't tell me I can't do that. Can't do it on you either. Let's do transform dot. Do I have to do? Which ones do I have to do? Probably maybe position and rotation. Is that gonna be enough? And scale, I guess. On the off chance we scale something, local scale. Alright, copy those. Oh, and I'm doing this backwards. Well, wait. Yeah, no, this is right. So we're gonna put all the original stuff in here, and then we're going to destroy the original. And the zoom target should be sitting in the same place, and nobody should be any of the wiser. Local position rotation. Okay, and then we destroy the original zoom target. And then we set all of these to null. Okay, let's see if that works. Zoom, zoom, click, 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 click. Fall off. And open up. And close that. Hey, look at that. And then real quick, I'll just do one more test where we'll take the lock off, but we won't open it. Actually, we'll just change the lock. We won't even take the lock off. And get up close. Alright, cool. And then make sure we can do that, make changes a couple times. So this time we'll take the lock off. Okay. And then click off. Alright, good. Close the box. Click on the lid. What do I have to click on the body, I guess? Alright, open. Open. Make sure there's a lid there. I can see it in the other window, but funny angle. Okay. Nice. So that works pretty well. And I hate that ripple I did in there. I regret that immensely. I need to redo that texture. Alright, cool. So now we have our box open, or we have our setup here. So now we could theoretically make any other boxes with any set of animations and attach any other locks to them, and then be able to open and close those. And we have our clickable interface. So if like something was in this box, we should be able to click it and do something. And I think that may be a good place to call it a day on this. So I think actually probably I'm going to make this our main project for a bit. It's kind of fun. So we're doing this, and then tomorrow is our regular beginner session, so it's session 2. So last week we covered kind of the basics of the language and stuff, and tomorrow we'll elaborate on what we did and like do some examples and dive a little deeper in a couple of things and talk about different things. So doing that, and follow me on Twitter or YouTube if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later. Thanks everyone. Bye. Well, let's just turn up my exit. Alright, bye now.